my kitty patooties, and welcome the frick in. We're here with my Twitch. Twitch, would you like to say hello to the YouTube gang? We are going to be listening to HANABIE, and this is a song called Otakulovelydensetsu. Densetsu. And before we jump into this, just a friendly reminder to please like and subscribe. And with that said, shall we get into it, darlings?
今や世界において仮想空間、アニメ、ゲームといったカルチャーは日常生活に必要不可欠なのである。
Okay.
Show me the real though, talk it on the deals. Show me the link though, love is a must meals. 好きなものを好きなだけなんか実践やめよう。好きなものを好きなだけ後悔して投げそう。
Hi Etsu! Hi Chica! Hey Matsuri! And Yukina! God, okay, wait. We're going from one thing to the next to the next to the next. Okay, so first off, it's almost like this Telecaster, or like, yeah, I think that's what it's called. Telecaster kind of deliverance of the lyrics in this. So we have that kind of right off the top. Again, it kind of feels like or maybe like a newscaster. Well, Telecaster kind of, it's probably in the same vein. It's on a TV telling you the news. In the world today, cyberspace, anime, and games are absolutely vital cultures in everyday life. And even the filter that they have going on over her voice makes it digitalized, you know? So that lends to, again, kind of this digital Telecaster. And they even talk about cyberspace, they talk about anime, they talk about games, all these things obviously are digital. Well, not all of them are digital. Anime can also be in books, and games can also be board games, but they're talking about the cyberspace and these things in the cyberspace. So you have that right off the top, and then smacks ya in the verse, and I was not expecting it, with those harsh vocals. And it's interesting because you have those harsh vocals not necessarily in that Telecaster tone or cadence. So you start off a little bit more, I don't want to say regular, but it's kind of like that. It doesn't have a intentional tone or kind of almost like I said, cadence to it that is supposed to be more Telecaster. But they do go back to that with the harsh vocals, and then kind of back to that again, not regular, but just doesn't have that. In the world today, cyberspace, blah 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 blah. You know, it doesn't have this kind of tone to it because it's a very specific way of speaking. And so that was really interesting. And then again, these are genius translated. This is English. These are lyrics translated from Japanese to English by genius.com. Sometimes words get just jumbled in my brain and then they just start coming out in random order, but that's what I was trying to say. And so there are some lyrics in the song, again, I feel like are taken out of context because you lose the context when you translate something a lot of the time. Not all of the time, but a lot of the time. So there's certain things in it that I'm just like, I feel like you mean something else by that, but I'm not 100% sure. I love how they introduced each of the girls. So you have, oh no, it was I don't remember all of their names. It was Yunika, Matsuri, Chika, and Hetsu. I think there's 4. And so this is my first time listening to HANABIE, and I do think thank you for recommending this one, because it is like a little introduction to each of these young ladies, so that's pretty cool. But we're going to continue this, and then we'll see where it takes us. But I'm like, whoa! Yeah. Again, the Telecaster.
Animation and games linked to music destroy us wonderfully, but we love it.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. When... Oh my gosh. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, and my brain is like... Ah! I feel like you could take this song and put it into Cyberpunk 2077, because it has that... It has the grittiness, but it also has this... Almost like this... false kind of mask of sweetness, and then it's like and then you get into those harsh vocals, and everything. Also, they're talking about cyberspace, they're talking about video games, they're talking about all of these things. The way that they kind of digitalized her voice in the beginning, some of the stuff going on in the background, and the way that they do this, the way that they do this song also gives this kind of pretense of, I think because, and why I say it feels like a false mask, is you have the Telecaster voice that's like, this is happening, adventure's happening, everything is great, and then you switch into those harsh vocals, and just like you, I'm poisoned like an addict. Now loading is whirling on the screen, rise and grind with the super Bible I love you is an existence proof in the parallel world. Like it whoever you are, I know you want a high level Japanese show. I love culture. The world is watching. So like it just, I don't know. There's a lot going on in this, and I'm trying to capture it all in my brain. But it definitely feels like there's this false kind of Telecaster mask. Everything is great. And then there's like this darker underbelly to it. And I feel like that kind of fits to Cyberpunk 2077 as well. I don't know if you've ever played that game, but it's pretty freaking good, and the music in it's pretty fun. I feel like this would be a perfect fit for that, because again, when one of the reasons why I stopped too is the whirring that's happening in the background. I felt like I stopped for the whirring, and there was a reason why I stopped for it, and then I got distracted by all the other stuff. We're gonna go back just a tiny bit, but there's a lot going on, but it's super fun. Oh my god. Okay, and then obviously there are two vocalists. We've got vocalists we saw doing the majority of the harsh vocals, and then we have, I think it's Chica, is doing a lot of the clean vocals. I feel like you could go through that video and literally analyze so much more. I feel like there's so much going on. Whether it's, you know, vocals from the music to the music video visuals to the lyrics, like there's a lot. There's a lot. But all in all, that was fun and it was cheeky and I was not expecting those harsh vocals and I really enjoyed that. So thank you very much for recommending this. I hope that you enjoyed my reaction to this. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you cutie patooties in the next one. Bye, y'all.